It has been 2 months since a gas explosion rocked downtown Springfield. The dust has settled, but many people who were down there that day may be wondering about the possible long-term health effects that they need to be aware of. 22 News I-Team reporter Laura Hutchinson investigated and tells us what she found.
When an old building in an urban setting explodes, you'd expect to find lead or asbestos. So the 22 News I-Team ran some tests on the explosion debris, and we found some toxic materials. It's been 2 months since Score strip club in downtown Springfield exploded from a gas leak. The explosion could be felt for miles and sent debris flying, damaging buildings blocks away.
We had a large explosion on Worthington Street.
Those who were in the blast zone when it happened, like Springfield Fire's Dennis Ledger, are now left wondering what they breathed in that day and how it may affect them long term.
There could have been asbestos there. There could have been a lot of agents that they're unknown.
To get an idea of what people were breathing that day, the 22 News I-Team went down to the site days after the blast and gathered dust and debris samples to submit for testing. Sterling Analytical Lab President Medusha in West Springfield conducted the testing. A few weeks later, our results were in.
Those three things are the major things that's sticking out.
While there were a number of metals found, Medusha said the levels of chromium, lead, and barium are high. 3 elements environmental experts say have been linked to different forms of cancer and learning disabilities.
That one has a very high barium, 2,300 ppm, and that's considered hazardous level.
We brought our results to Rick Peltier, an environment health specialist at UMass Amherst.
Certainly when the explosion occurred, there were very high levels.
Peltier says while there are high levels of metals that can be harmful to people, he doesn't think it will be. He said problems typically happen when people are constantly exposed over a long period of time, like 9/11.
The explosion was a fairly short duration event, and once it was over, all of that stuff that was floating in the air was removed from the air. It settled to the surface of the ground.
Still, he says it's important everyone know the risks and monitor their health. Ledger says all firefighters involved signed exposure forms to have on record if problems arise.
When they're on the outside like that, and there's, nobody had a mask on for something like that, so everybody filled out the form as a matter of policy.
I also got in touch with Massachusetts Department of Environmental Protection. They wouldn't comment on our test results, but did say they run continuous air monitors in Springfield. They also detected fiberglass and asbestos in the air after the explosion, but below levels that would be a health concern.